roaming around town here, and today we were about to talk about how was it growing up in Chicago. You know, everybody has their own point of view, everybody has their own story to tell, so I'm gonna let you guys hear what the people have to say of how was it growing up in Chicago, including myself, a fellow Chicagoan. As you can see, I have deep dish Chicago pizza. You know, we're known for our deep dish, so let's get it.
Fill my heart with song. Let me sing.
Chicago is originally a black gangster city. Al Capone was here, but before Al Capone was here, you had a black coalition of gangsters that controlled the west side and part of the north side, and they stood strong against Al Capone. That's a true story.
Growing up in Chicago.
It's fun, a lot of activities, but very cautious of where you should be.
Why should you be very cautious?
You don't know who you know around here, especially on the blue or red line. A lot of people, especially coming out at this time of night, will come up to you off something, trying to argue with you or tell you a story you don't really want to hear.
Oh yeah, I hear that a lot. Yeah, I get that.
It's so-so. It's like anywhere else. Depends on where you're at in Chicago as well. I mean, it's decent. It worked for me, but I know if I go anywhere else, it's gonna be the same me with the same settings. So Chicago's what's up, I guess. You know, it's my home, so that's about it. That. But yeah, it's so-so. It depends on who you are too. You know, some people don't like it and they move. I stay here. So yeah, it's decent.
It was beautiful. I learned how to roller skate in the neighborhood. I would ride my bike from 69th and Normal to Hamilton Park. I felt so free growing up. But today, you can't even go outside if you want to go out and ride your bike after a certain hour.
Why is that?
The crime. The crime has really gotten out of control. And the parents are not parenting. They're letting the kids do whatever they want to do. When I grew up, we had to be home when the street lights came on.
I know, right?
Okay, that's what we had to do. And even today, I truly believe the problem with all this crime, parents are not parenting, and most of these children do not have God in their life. They don't know right from wrong. They weren't taught it when they were 2 and 3. When you get to be 15 and 16, if you haven't been taught the right way to go, then you're gonna go whichever way the wind is blowing. So it was beautiful growing up in Chicago, and I loved taking my son to baseball games. Not only that, he played t-ball, so parents were involved. Most of the parents that had kids when my son was small, they were involved, and that's why it was a beautiful thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, growing up in Chicago for me, it was more like a village mentality compared to what it is now. I grew up in Humboldt Park, so it's like all the Puerto Ricans and the Hispanics. It was very urban, but we were all like united, but very separated and kind of just hated each other at the same time. It was a back and forth of a love and hate game between each other, especially in Humboldt Park.
Okay. So everything is good right now, isn't it?
No, I think it's worse now.
Really?
Yeah. In Humboldt Park, at least, they've had a couple kids get killed. With the gangbanging stuff that's going on over there, and mixed with the gentrification, they kind of just like running around with chickens with their heads cut off.
What do you think needs to be done?
All the resources that they had for the kids they aren't the same compared to when I was a kid. So like they have more places to go to. They really shut down the funding for a lot. The schools don't have much.
Oh wow.
So like everybody is just doing dumb crap.
Right.
I think they just need more to do, and it starts with the young ones instead of the older ones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and save
Hopefully
them.
everything works out, you know, we'll get it together, you know, be back in old Chicago again, you know.
Yeah, no. Hopefully, but they're confused.
I know, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
How was it growing up in Chicago like?
Shit, to be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie to you. Shit, it's like fucked up. I ain't gonna lie. It's like fucking terrible. It's like which motherfuckers grill somewhere else. This shit, it taught you a lot though. I ain't gonna lie. But it definitely came with a lot of ass whooping. This shit, shit fucked up. I ain't gonna tell you. Like this shit bogus. I can't find no other words to say. Like fucking pathetic, fucking terrible, miserable. A lot of painful situations, a lot of crying.
Damn, are you serious?
I'm dead ass. I ain't gonna fucking lie to you. Chicago, been fucked. Been fucked up living here. But
How long you been living here?
shit, my whole motherfucking life. Shit. I've been to like another state like a year or two, but Chicago mostly, I ain't gonna lie. And everywhere I've been, this shit been the most fucked up. I ain't gonna lie. No other place come close. Like this shit, it's sad. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like,
I appreciate your honesty, man. You have a good one, man.
how about you?
There's so many like hidden gems. There's like really awesome. There's Japanese gardens in Lincoln Park, and then there's Japanese gardens in Hyde Park.
Oh really?
Yeah, the Hyde Park ones are beautiful. And you just gotta find like really secret spots, like not tourist attractive areas. Like don't go to Navy Pier, that shit's lame.
Yeah.
Like, like don't go to like all those big populated places. Like find some small, and like go into like the real neighborhoods. Like find some like communities. Like that's where you get the best food, the best experience.
No? What?
Pilsen.
Really?
Pilsen.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
Chinatown, I agree with bro too. You know, that's, if you want to get some good Chinese food, you know, fresh, you know, I would recommend Chinatown.
Chinatown has some great like architectural stuff though. So if you want to like look at really cool buildings and like old like historical things, like Chinatown's the place.
Oh, okay. That's great. So you teach me something. I've been here for 33 years. Y'all younger than me.
Growing up in Chicago, for me, it was okay. I mean, it was basically like, you know, growing up in Wells. It depends on there's advantage and there's disadvantage. You know what I mean? You know when I say that, meaning that if you were from a family that had money, you had advantages to go and do things that other children may not have had to do. I mean, it's like when you weigh it out, it was a struggle. It was a struggle because I was raised by a single parent, okay? And being raised by a single parent left me with some disadvantages in life. I mean, as far as like playing sports and all the other things, you know what I mean? I wasn't the best in all the sports because I didn't have nobody to teach me how to play those sports. I had to wait to grow up and learn how to do these things myself.
Right.
You know, and I mean, it's like, as far as
Was that due to
money,
not having a father figure? Did you have a father figure growing up?
well, no. I just had my mother. I mean, you know, there was guys that came around, but I wouldn't call them a father figure. The father figure is somebody that takes care of you.
Right.
Somebody that makes sure you're okay, make
Right.
sure that the
Right.
family is in the whole.
Right.
I had somebody around that was looking out for themselves.
Right.
They're just trying to get a free plate out of my mother or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, but to say you have a father figure, to be a father figure, you got to knowledge, some knowledge into that child. You got to pour some of what you got into that child.
Right.
You can't just be a father figure just to be around to eat or to sleep. Or then you go to work, come home. If you go to work and come home and leave your money in the bank, and then the one you leave the woman to struggle by herself, you ain't no man.
Right.
Really. So a man is supposed to take care of his family. A man is supposed to, you know, instill, if you don't have the most time to spending with your child, spend 15 minutes a day teaching that kid something that he'll remember in the long run.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's what I mean. Growing up here in Chicago, more men need to step up and be men.
Chicago is like any other city. It's beautiful. You know, got its up and downs like any other city. We got bipolar weather. We got winter, super winter, half spring, half summer, and then we got the fall. You know, it's fucked up, but it's a great city to raise your family at. It's a lot of beautiful historical monuments in our city, a lot of money flow, a lot of great food. It's like any other city, you know, you got your up and downs, but hey, that's normal, you know what I'm saying? That's just life, you know. I hate when people be like, yo, you know, Chicago is like Chirac, and no, bro, cut it out. No, hell no. I know other states like Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Detroit. It's a lot of cities, you know, got they fuck ups and everything, but they also have the good too. So with that being said, growing up in Chicago was challenging, but it was a beautiful thing. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm glad I was raised in Chicago. I'm glad I grew up in Chicago. Back then, in the 90s, when I'm growing, because I'm 34, we had to be in the house before the street lights come on. This is back then when our communities stick together, where one kid is in trouble, if their parents wasn't around, the neighbors took care of that, Nowadays, this generation don't do that. They're sensitive. You can't even discipline your kid in front of certain people without them want to call them people on you, DCFS or, the police. But that's another story, another vlog for another day.